So Barbara,
Hey.
before you decided to become a diet-free life coach and get into the space as a nutritionist, a health coach, what did you do before you came on board and took on this new career?
So before I came on board as being a diet-free life coach, I spent over 18 years in the aerospace industry. And so when I say that, I was in the occupational health part of it. So my job primarily was helping people, our employees, work healthy, stay healthy, and just really kind of cover everything that they did and keep them safe and the environment safe as well. So that was my job.
Now, being in the corporate space,
Yeah.
you decided at 20 years old, after 18 years,
Right.
You decided after having an established career to become a coach.
Yeah.
You left the corporate world. So what are some of the reasons why you left the corporate world, and what have been some of the benefits of basically being in charge of your own schedule?
That's a good question. So, this is something like going on my own or going into business on my own was something I had thought about for, I would say, a good 5 to 10 years at the end of my career in aerospace. I was thinking about it, wasn't quite sure what to do. I'd always had a love for helping people, the whole health and fitness industry. And I wanted to do something for myself. I wanted the flexibility of time. I wanted to spend more time with my son. So I'm a mom. And I was commuting at that time at least a good hour, each way. So that was taking a bunch of my time as well. I also felt like there wasn't a shortage of time that I couldn't put into that job. You know what I mean? Like if I would have worked there for 7 days a week, it wouldn't have been enough. And I really wanted the freedom to schedule my own time, to do something I actually loved and had passion for, and can spend time with my loved ones.
Now, as someone who you jumped in with both feet.
Yeah.
So when you first became a coach, you got the assignments, you got them done really fast.
Yeah.
And then you started taking on clients. Was it difficult to coach someone with the curriculum that we provided, or was it easy? Like, share a little bit about your experience of getting that first client, using the curriculum, the system that was provided, and coaching, because you've done really well with the people you've worked with.
That's a good question, because what I've learned is that the curriculum is easy, to answer your question. The curriculum, how to coach, everything is laid out for you. It's so clear of how to do it. I think the trouble that people may run into is, as a coach, is just having that confidence. It's really just building that own self-confidence yourself to really get out there and do it. That's truly the boundary. Is we can oftentimes get in our own way, and once you step out of your own way and just sort of let it flow and kind of go with it, it's just it could be smooth sailing.
Well, that's a good one. And that's one of the reasons why I like having the coach calls. When we get everybody on, they can hear stories of like yourself and other coaches, winning, being successful, which will help build their confidence to kind of get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
This morning I was on the phone with Dee Dee, one of our coaches out in Tennessee. And Dee Dee, a big part of her success is she likes working with groups, right? So we have the individual curriculum, and then we have the curriculum where you can work with like large groups. Not so much individuals.
Right.
You work with both. You work with individuals, as you were sharing as far as the curriculum.
Yeah.
And I've seen you work with groups, and you even work with another coach, Patrick.
Yes.
So what's the difference between working with the individual and the group, and do you like working with groups as well?
So to answer your question, first of all, I do like working with both individuals and groups. And then I found that as far as being successful as a coach, when I have a consultation with a client, oftentimes I can tell, just by getting to know them, what they're looking for as far as the level of accountability. Do they feel secure, kind of one-on-one, or do they feel more comfortable in a group? And you'll kind of see that people tend to go one way or the other. Maybe they'll start with a group first, and once they build some confidence, then they'll say, hey, I want to do this one-on-one. It can go both ways, and I found that the ability to offer those different routes has helped make me successful.
Right. And a lot of times when you're working with an individual, if they don't have the funds, which is usually an objection, right?
Yes.
They can't afford to be coached for 8 weeks, like one-on-one. The option would be, hey, you could be part of our group, and you don't pay as much, but you still learn the method, and you still learn how to reduce body fat, excess body fat, eating foods you love. So to jump around a little bit with you, because you also, in addition to working with, in the corporate world, you are IFBB Pro, like you're a professional fitness athlete.
Yes.
And when you learned about the Diet for Your Life methodology, you saw real quick how our system really matches up well with the way a lot of professional athletes like yourself eat.
Absolutely. It was and that was what was so compelling for me, because actually learning as an athlete that, you do have to eat. It was this, for me at that time, it was very enlightening, because I think that a lot of people think that in order to get in the greatest shape of their life, that they're starving themselves. And for me, it was learning that no, you're actually eating quite a bit, but in a very smart manner. And so when we met and I got to learn the Diet for Your Life methodology, it absolutely meshed together. It made so much sense. And that's why I love it so much, because you can take it as a lifestyle. You can take it a step up, to step on stage. It meets everybody where they are, and I love it.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's another really cool thing about, having this conversation with you is because we have many people who come to us who are registered dietitians. We have nurses that want to get into this business. We have, housewives, house husbands, right? They want a new career. They want to help people. And so they become a Diet for Your Life coach. Well, at the same time, we're starting to attract quite a few network marketers, multi-level marketers, because, let's say you work for a company like Herbalife or Modere, and the list goes on, Arbonne. Like, there's a whole bunch of them. You're selling products, but you're really not teaching a lifestyle. And so they become a Diet for Your Life coach. And I know that you rep a company, which is another stream of income. And when you're repping a company, now I'm not mentioning the name that you rep, but when you're a network marketer, now you're not just selling products, right? You're not leading with products. As a nutritionist, a health coach, you now can lead with information and education. And as a result of that, then people find out about the products. It's an easier sell. Has that been your experience?
Absolutely, and that I agree with that, but also ethically speaking for myself, just the background that I come from, it's, I'm all about the science. I'm all about doing things that are evidence-based. And so for me as a professional and just as a person, I just feel so much better being able to share a lifestyle solution that's evidence-based, it's been clinically proven. That speaks to me as a person, because I know that the information I'm sharing, I can stand, proud with what I'm doing. I have I have 100% confidence in what I do. All the other stuff, that's just icing. It's kind of like the accessories to kind of help optimize, but it's not the solution. And so I'm all about the solution part, the part that really sticks and that matters for me. So
nice. Well, is one of the things that's starting to take place more and more is that there's other governing bodies or organizations that will certify a person to become a health coach or a weight loss coach. Many of those people are coming to us now because you go through and you get this education, but you're not given a system. You're not given a method of how to coach all types of people based on what they prefer to eat, what they don't want to eat. You're just kind of like thrown out there. The same thing happens in the world of personal training, right? You become a personal trainer over a weekend, you're certified, now what? No one's taught you how to collect money or ask for money, so there's no sales training, which we provide. Oftentimes, if you're a personal trainer, you got this certification, you don't really know how to market yourself. Again, that's something that we provide. And a lot of those people in those professions, yes, they get certified, but they don't have like the toolbox to go and run with it. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I kind of laugh now because when I had a long career in the corporate world and I did great. I loved my career and I knew how to navigate in that space. And as much as I wanted to be an entrepreneur and go into business for myself, once I really did that and took that step, it's scary because you're all of a sudden what you know doesn't quite translate, like you said, to how you market yourself, how you strategize, all that. It's a completely different animal. It's doable with guidance, and I wish I would have had maybe guidance earlier on, but you really do need that bridge to take you from one kind of space to the other to help you have like smooth sailing throughout.
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm just a big believer that it helps to have someone mentor you, right? And you need some help, right? Because oftentimes someone they'll want to become a health coach or a nutritionist. They're excited about it because they like to help people and they like to learn, what we call a prosumer. And they jump into it and now they're certified. And more often than not, Now what? How do I get clients? How do I reach people? How do I market myself? Now do I go get a website? And one of the things that we do with the coaches is we provide them with a website that is designed with the right copy, the right wording, that's going to help them run with their business.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, and the last thing I want to kind of just talk a little bit about, we have this amazing opportunity with our coaches now, where not only can they work with individuals, not only can they work with groups, take our program or their program to like a church, synagogue, you name it, work with like the local community and grow their business, make a good living. We're now providing them with what we call a preventative care management program, which is about employee wellness. So we find a company, or they tell us about a company, we get that company on board. And then once that company is on board, we save that company money based on our proprietary ways of doing that. And then we plug in the coach to make additional money just because they're in the area of this company we're working with. And then they can go in and do lunch and learns. They can go and start educating the employees on how to live a diet-free life.
Yeah.
Built in, they can, and it's solid. It's solid income, solid opportunity. And I know you're getting ready to tap into that part of it.
Yeah.
How excited are you about that?
I mean, I am so excited about that because I can speak to both sides now. So on the corporate side, what I did with occupational health is a lot of the struggle that we had with our employees was that there was only so much that we can do, understanding that once that employee went home, that they were likely going back to old habits or, things that we wanted to sort of adjust. And we never quite had that impact on our employees. It was always a struggle as far as finding something that would work. And so now as a coach and this new program that we have, I see on the other side, like what we can do for companies and how nice it is to have a solution that's clear, that's evidence-based, that literally will meet every person, whether it's the employee or their family member. It'll work for every single one of them. It is so powerful. It's going to make our job as coaches so much easier as well. I mean, I love it.
I mean, it's built in. It's like one of our coaches recently reached out to a trucking company. And if, a couple years ago, the Wall Street Journal came out with a study and they talked about how we're going to run into an economic crisis because so many of the truckers are overweight, type 2 diabetic, high blood pressure, and they basically get pulled out of that truck and that truck sits until they can find another driver. And it's becoming more and more difficult for companies to find extremely health-minded and healthy individuals to actually drive the trucks. So they're losing money. It's harder to find more qualified people. Well, one of our coaches saw that problem. She was working in that space. She loved, diet-free life, and she first did it as a customer. Then she became a coach because she found out how she wanted to be a coach. And now she's moved into the corporate wellness side of it, where she's helping truckers through helping the employers. It's a win-win.
That's great.
And the world is really just sitting there waiting on her because there's truck companies all over. And as she gets this first trucking company on board, she now has the credentials to go and work with all the other trucking companies.
That's awesome.
So,
I mean, that's a great story, success story right there.
There's something for everybody.
Yeah. And I think actually that was something that I learned to kind of go back on how you say that you talk about how to guide a coach to get clients. I think one of the things I learned as once I became a diet-free life coach is the fact that what you did before doesn't necessarily have to be separated from being a coach. Like you can actually bring what you did before and use that as an asset to your coaching business. And that was something that I learned from you as far as bringing my aerospace expertise, my corporate expertise and working in that world and how to tie it in as a coach. And it's paid off. It's been great.
Nice. Well, I just want to say thank you for making time to just have a conversation about, what it takes to become a coach and once you become a coach. And, for me, we're always going to be available. I make myself available to everybody. So if they want to get more clients, all they got to do is call me. So it's not one of those companies where you get in and you're motivated by the guy who founded it and then you never see him again.
Right. And then all the coaches, we all team together as well. And we all help each other as well.
Yeah, so, which is amazing. Yeah. And as we're spending more time doing that, I see that we get stronger. So it ain't just me. It's a community. It's a family. And as a result of us coming together and helping each other and sharing what's working for me, what's not working for me, and someone maybe have a solution there, it makes the entire team powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, agree.
Well, thank you, Barbara.
No, you're welcome.